EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's the opening round of the Northeast Invitational. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Novelo here today calling the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point. And Frank, this course features some breathtaking scenery.
It certainly does, Rich. Changes of elevation, and it's in phenomenal shape. We've got to send our thanks out to the superintendent, Peyton Duncan, who's got the course exactly primed. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy the views. Take your camera as well. This is very scenic up in New England.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
So just 100 yards away. Now the second shot. Good-looking shot right here. What a display of shot-making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
So just a formality. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
And now over to the 5th. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, you've navigated so many leaderboards in your career. This is the way to do it, isn't it?
Oh, there's plenty of holes ahead too, Rich. 3rd place, a really good position to be playing from here on in.
Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep. So really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it pick up.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie. No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Par 4 7th, only 370 yards. Frank, decision to be made off that tee.
It is. I walked this hole, Rich, to the narrowest point of the fairway. It's 278 yards, and if you want to carry that left side, you're going to have to be strong 300 yards. So really, I don't know if driver's the play. Maybe even 3 wood's too much. You might have to throttle back even further. So the hole might be short. You just might get a little bit of a longer second shot than what the scorecard would normally allow you.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he thought, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
This for par. Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change in the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so pushes him back to second.
Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish and that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right, even though the hole's just that meager yardage.
How about that? Every green in regulation. Excellent ball striking today. These putts keep the round together. That's a good birdie right there. And to 4 under par for the championship. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, 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 rough. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Frank, tie atop the leaderboard now.
I think it's certainly starting to get everybody captivated.
That was a nice birdie. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
And getting ready for the putt. Frank, that's disappointing. You like to get out of the gates with a par.
Yeah, this is where a convenient memory would certainly help. Rich, with so few holes left, bogeys are just that much more expensive.
That will really hurt his chances of catching the leader. Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, but because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That will be a great look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, very impressive and on the move right now. Now the third hole here at Lighthouse Point, par 5, 566 yards. Good contact, good result. Frankie appears to be in control of his game in the early going.
I like what I'm seeing out there, doing all the basic things at a very, very high level, getting the ball in play. That helps set up the next shot. Next shot gets on the green. That's how it sets up the birdie putt. It's one thing leading to another.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
And the ball settles on the green 26 feet away. And the computer dials this one up at 26 feet. This one's tracking.
Oh, Rich, is that an eagle?
That is an eagle, and that is a move all the way up to second place.
That's a doozy.
Frank, as we stand here at the fourth and look out, no mistaking where we're at. I know I'm having some lobster for dinner tonight.
Or some clam chowder. The best comes from this area. Well, actually, for the ocean, though, anything that strays a little left off this tee will find that ocean. And believe me, there's been more than one ball hit down there. Generous fairway, that's really the goal, and the tiniest of green. If you find the green, you're going to have a birdie putt. A very short one indeed.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. That is a really good shot, landing close to the flagstick. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Makes it right in the center. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's third round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. Fourth hole is 411 yards, par 4. And Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and take a few pictures. The views are absolutely stunning.
Nice.
Looks good.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Birdie try again here today. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Fifth hole now at Lighthouse Point. Frank, it's a beefy par 4.
Another hole without any fairway bunkers off the tee, but really the main defense here at the Cliffs is the elements. Find the fairway, and you'll also be hitting to a green, which is protected by a little bunker to the right side of that and short. So precision, once again, required here.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep, so really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing, too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Settles in over the putt. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish and that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right, even though the hole's just that meager yardage.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Just a beautiful approach shot. These putts keep the round together. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out. Excuse the pun, we are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. That wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
PGA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's the final round of the Northeast Invitational. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the two fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10? This is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again. At the end of a long, long walk. Second shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Drops it in for birdie. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. It's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. Rich Lerner back at Lighthouse Point with Frank Nobilo. We're at the 15th hole. Frank, a relatively short par 4, 387 yards.
Yeah, finally we get one under 400 yards. A little bit of trouble off the tee to be avoided. Bunker left and that little pot bunker on the right. But missed those. And really, this is a very much a scoring opportunity.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Time to make a move, the closing stretch here at number 16, par 3, 241 yards. Frank, you tip your Hogan visor to this player because early on it appeared as though this one was headed way off the tracks.
Well, it was. And to stop the round and turn it back and now look like he's playing even better than ever. And it took some doing. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Now at the 17th, and Frank a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make Eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. Bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, two big hits. You might just reach this par 5 and 2. Birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
And his second shot here at the par 5.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's, you've got 5 minutes to find it.
And setting up here in the rough. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Good putt. Well, at last we're at number 18, and Frank, I have really enjoyed this golf course, and now when you see the lighthouse in the distance, it really makes it that much more special.
It is. The beacon will always take you home, and speaking of home, this finishing hole, it bends to the left. A good tee shot will somehow find the fairway and just leave you a short iron in. And, of course, you make 3 here, and then that smile's going to light up like a beacon.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is another laser right at the flagstick. To win the Northeast Invitational. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
And getting ready for the putt. And rolls it in. Nice putt. Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Been fun so far. Let's see what's happening. Out at hole number 5. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
And now he has this for the birdie. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. 6th hole here at TPC Boston, always a fan favorite. What do people like about it, Frank?
Well, it's like a goal kicker hole. There's these 2 big pine trees, and especially when you turn off that back tee. Hit it through that chute, avoid the 2 bunkers on the right, you're in prime position.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Nice par to remain 1 under. We're at the 7th hole now, a Boston strong 600-yard par 5.
But it's reachable. There's enough mounding there. If a tee shot catches one of those mounds, it could kick another 20 or 30 yards and certainly make this reachable.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. He's putting for birdie now. In for birdie, and now 2 under for the tournament. On to the 8th hole, Frank. Nice par 3.
Yeah, this is where the accurate iron player will definitely get an advantage over the field.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just 5 feet left. Good birdie right there.
Yeah, this game, when you can't win, it's all about top 10s, top 20s. Currently, that's exactly where they stand. That was a great first day up there, Rich.
I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of birdies, excellent play, and some impressive names on top of this leaderboard. Anybody's game. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board, and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that, but really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Good-looking shot right here. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
All right, Frank, now to the 6th hole. It's a 465-yard par 4. What are the keys?
Well, it's framed beautifully by the trees just in front of the tee, so you know exactly where you're trying to go down there. 2 little bunkers on the right if you stray a little right, and if you stray a little left, you might just make it to the water. It's a ginormous tee shot.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. And with that birdie, moves to 3rd place. This is a pretty sizable par 5 here, Frank, the 7th.
But it's reachable. There's some mounds down there. If you keep it down the right side, hopefully that tee shot can kick it a little forward. And then that green, angled at about 45 degrees, very reachable. Second shot.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there. Setting up like it's teed up.
Thinking man's game, golf.
It certainly is.
Frank, I have to say I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
I agree. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the round plays out.
Might go deep here into red numbers. He'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away in a good spot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
In the fairway here at the 10th, a nice way to start off the back nine. I'm thinking this is about 110 yards, Frank.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. These putts keep the round together. Beautiful roll on that one, right in the bottom. Frank, given all of the trouble that you can get into here at this par 3 11th, you'd have to say that a player's going to be happy walking off with 3.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest greens on the golf course, Rich, and too often people try and go a little flag hunting. If the flag's on the right side, you don't want to pay the price by finishing up in the bunker.
This one has a chance to be close. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
And yet another birdie, this time inching into the top 5.
Moving on now to the 12th, and Frank, describe this hole for us.
Sneaky good par 4. It's long enough, you know, sort of that 450, 460 mark. Bends a little to the left. Really, you want to be in the middle of fairway here because that second shot with the green just tilting towards the hazard. One of the toughest second shots you have on the golf course.
Second shot. Good look at the green. That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie. Settles in over the putt. Moves into second place with that birdie. And another par 4 here at the 13th TPC Boston.
This is a slugger's paradise. Plays much longer than its 450 yards uphill. Big carry with the tee shot. That second shot's not exactly short either. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
This shot from 105 yards away. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, we have said it over and over. another birdie. Back here at the par 4 14th, ready to tee off. This is a big dog leg to the left, 495-yard hole, Frank.
Yeah, don't try and hug that left side too much. There's a bunch of little mounds, and the chances of getting a good lie there, next to none. Where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Get down. Lay down. Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is here ball like?
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Frank, how about that eagle at this point in the tournament? Frank, after a couple of par 4s where you just sort of let it go with the driver, different strategy here at the 15th?
Yeah, you don't want to get carried away here. This is one where just a nice smooth swing, get that ball on the fairway. And that second shot, you've got to carry that false front.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
It's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. But now a chance for a birdie. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. But this one has a chance to be really good. Come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350-plus yards. This, the second shot here at the par 4. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. That shot falls for a birdie. Here we are at the 16th now, looking at just over 160 yards.
You can sense the fear, can't you?
This is a good-looking shot. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Get in. Yes, good putt. Just 2 holes left to play here at TPC Boston. Frank, we're on to the 17th, and what can you tell me about this 412-yard par 4?
It looks like a dogleg left, but you don't play it that way. Hit it straight down towards that bunker on the right side. Then the second shot's downhill.
And pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Has this putt for birdie. Oh, I thought he had that.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Stroke that with authority. Frank, the par 5 18th here at TPC Boston. This is a chance to be a hero.
Oh, there is. The mere mortals play it down the left side. Everything slopes from left to right. But that bunker, with a puff of breeze behind, if you can carry that, you are one of the longest hitters around.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole.
Second shot.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
To win the Deutsche Bank Championship. Didn't quite have the break on that medium length putt right there. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that just brings a smile to your face, puts a little pep in the step when you make them from downtown. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins.
great effort right there.
Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston has generated a lot of buzz through the years, hasn't it?
It has, and those changes have just made this finishing hole so much better. The fact that they've narrowed up the front of the green, they've made that left side more severe. Now you can't bail out on the left. If you do, it's an awful little pitch or even a putt up the hill.
The addition of that pot bunker, Frank, how has that changed the hole?
Well, if you stray off the tee or find one of those bunkers with your tee shot, you really have to be aware of exactly the distance that little pot bunker is away. Because if you just sort of whack it out of the bunker and lay it up there, you find the next bunker, then you're in trouble.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Orlando Classic. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend Frank Nobilo. We're in sunny Orlando, Florida, at the house that Arnold built, Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities today?
Par fives are certainly gettable at Bay Hill. You have to, really, because the par threes are very, very difficult. That's really the go-to. The standard of the greens, though, in Florida are always good. Bay Hill, they run normally at a good speed, so you can certainly make a few putts. But, yeah, par fives are the place to make your score at Bay Hill.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it. Stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5, 12th, hit shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Par bid here. That's a par. And that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Let's go down now to hole number 13. As we check in on this early round action, we join our featured golfer, already playing well to this point. Couple of low numbers on the scorecard.
Yeah, it looks very good. Good swings out there and some good putting as well.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Frank, now to the 14th of par 3, and how difficult is this hole?
Once again, very narrow entry into the green, so ideally you want to fly the ball a little higher than normal, make it soft, make it land a little softer.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
Really? This is that awkward length.
That's a birdie, and that's a good position from which to make a weekend move comfortably inside the cut line, still with plenty of time left in this tournament. Frank, deep in the round at the 15th, you need to maybe make something happen. How difficult is that with such a huge dog leg here?
Once again, make sure you know the distance to carry the bunker or run out. You've got to play to your strength.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Watches that one go in as well to get to -3 for the championship. There you have it, Frank. First round is complete. What are your thoughts, partner?
Rich, I think anyone inside the current top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly well placed to go on and take this championship.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Orlando Classic. Well, you're breathing a sigh of relief. Your round wasn't sunk at the par 5 6th, and now you come to this par 3. It's just a little under 200 yards.
Yeah, aiming at the middle of the green's not a bad thing here, Rich. You can always putt to the corners and have a birdie chance.
You take 3 and walk off this hole to the 8th?
Well, you could get a little greedy. You know, a tee shot in the middle of this green is not too bad. You'll still have a birdie putt.
Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. It is for birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor. Sneaking into contention here. That birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. Getting ready to tee off now at the 8th, and Frank, this hole has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, even though it's a pretty hole, Rich, it's a fairway you must hit because that second shot here is one of the toughest on the golf course.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
This is a 23-foot putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Putt for par. He needs one. And he makes it for par. It's a consistent theme here at Bay Hill. if you can carry it 300 yards.
Bay Hill always favors the longer hitter.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards.
Frank, you want to make the turn in style? We're here at the 9th, the approach shot, and what are we looking at?
Big green, one of the biggest on the golf course. This hole's changed a lot with equipment over the years, so long iron, even a mid iron for some people, to a very generous green. Just pitch it on the front third, and you'll be having a birdie putt here at 9.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tapping.
Clean this up with a tap. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Second shot, Frank, now to the par 4 10th.
Have to look, first of all, which quarter of the green that the flag is, because this 10th green really is 4 different quarters. As long as you're keeping that second shot in that little area, then 10 will certainly reward that second shot.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Frank, 440-yard par 4 11th. You see that number on the card, you think driver. Maybe not. Why?
Yeah, it's imperative you hit the fairway here, Rich. Water obviously in play left, 2 bunkers on the right. This is a second shot hole. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that whole location. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That is some good work right there. Birdie, 1 shot closer to the lead. Frank, now we're at the 574-yard par 5 12th. How critical are the par 5s if you're trying to put a score on the board here at Bay Hill?
They're crucial, Rich, because the par 4s are very, very difficult. So anytime you get a par 5, you've really got to take advantage of it. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, the tournament scoring record was set by Buddy Allen. That was way back in 1973. A whopping 23 under. That's like a video game score.
Yeah, they made sure that would never happen again. They lengthened the golf course. They firmed up the greens. They sped them up. They did everything to make sure that nobody, including you, ever shoots 23 under here again.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, It's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today it's live third-round coverage of the Orlando Classic. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice strong breeze.
Headed for the bunker?
Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
And he's made the green.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, that is absolutely demoralizing. A big number, a double bogey at this stage of the tournament. Frank, how about the 8th par 4, one of the more intriguing setups?
Ideally, you want to just work your tee shot away from that bunker. But this is one fairway you must hit because it's one of the toughest second shots on the golf course.
Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
This is a good-looking shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Birdie try again here today. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Join that trio at the top.
Finishing up here on the front side at Bay Hill with a lengthy par form. What's the key, Frank?
Well, the hole's relatively flat, but the rough on the right comes into play. If you can carry that ball 300 yards, then just take it in over the bunker.
Beautiful looking shot right here.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament.
Just a perfect springtime day here in Orlando, Florida. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, how do you get off to the perfect start on this second 9 here?
One of the few holes here that actually moves to the right, so a little cut off those 2 bunkers. Either that, or if you can fly the ball 280, 285, you can take it over the right, or just an iron. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10. Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards. I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway just short of that second bunker. And it sits up 6 or a 7 on. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Frank, the second shot here at number 11, another good-looking shot, not unlike the third hole with water along the left. What's the right way to play this?
Obviously, you'd like to walk off 11 with 3, but 4 here never really hurts the scorecard. This is one hole you sort of play with an orange light feeling. A little right of the flag. That's absolutely fine.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. This is for his birdie. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie now in second.
So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
Frank, as we come to the 14th of par 3, what's ahead for the players?
Once again, another tough par 3 coming up. Narrow at the front. It gets a little wider the further you go up this green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Do that.
That's a birdie. One back. We are on.
Frank, the 15th, kind of a fun golf hole if you can curve your ball. I mean, that's a huge dogleg to the right, isn't it?
It's much easier if you're a right-hander if you cut it down here. If you don't cut it, then make sure you don't run out down that left side.
That is a heat-seeking missile. Look out. 325 yards and in the fairway. Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Well, that birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point.
I'm loving that balance.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
This is looking really good. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. Man, what an eagle right there, Frank, and what a time to deliver that kind of decisive shot. Frank, par 3 17th here at Bay Hill. How difficult is this hole?
This one takes your best tee shot, Rich. Otherwise, you're just looking at 4 or 5.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Just Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
2008, Frank, Tiger made that 25-foot putt right here at the 18th, final round to beat Bart Bryant by a shot. Then again, for a second straight year, he birdied this hole to defeat Sean O'Hare.
He's had a similar putt there at least 3 or 4 times, actually, to win the event. And he's been one of the few players to read it correctly.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here in the final hole.
Well, Frank, this is one of the most famous shots in the whole sport of golf, the second to 18 at Bay Hill.
And one of the most unpredictable, unless your name is Robert Gamers. Remember, he holed his second shot here to win the tournament many years ago. For some reason, the yardage book's almost got to be thrown away here at 18 reps, because that second shot always plays longer or shorter than the actual number. So be a little lucky here, as well as good at 18.
To win the Orlando Classic. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Just a tremendous week of golf, and that, my friend, is a winner right there.
Yeah, and he should be proud of himself, too. It took golf of the highest quality to beat this high-quality field, and that is something that you will remember for a long, long time.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the final leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the PGA Tour season finale.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Good contact, good result. Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That's good work by the former PGA teaching professional, one of the best instructors in the country, with a birdie now inside the cut line. Here's another dogleg to the left at East Lake in the Tour Championship. It's the 405-yard par 4 eighth hole, and position is paramount here off the tee. You see those 3 fairway bunkers along the left side. You need to avoid those. You want to be positioned on the right. If you get it down that right side in the fairway, you'll have a good chance to attack the hole location. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank going for 2 in a row now. Well, continuing to move in the right direction now to 2 under for the championship. We mentioned at the start of this Tour Championship, East Lake is a par 70, so just 2 par 5s, and here is the first on the golf course. It's the 9th, 600 yards. There's some water in play. Still, though, a good chance for birdie. Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Get down. Lay down. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
This is a 22-foot putt. Boy, you could hear the noise from up here in our commentary box. Crowd goes wild after that eagle.
Now, just when you think struggling for a top 10, 1 hole, eagle, now in the top 5.
As we get set for the back 9 here at the Tour Championship, finale for the FedEx Cup. There is so much riding on today's round. Rich Lerner pleased to be alongside Frank Nobilo, calling all the action for EA Sports. And a 469-yard demanding par 4 set to greet the players here as they get going on the back 9. In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Getting set now for the approach here at the 10th.
A good drive down the left side. Looks nicely at this green, but the green pitches from that back right to the front left. You can use the slope to your advantage.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach giving him another good look. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh yeah, you'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact. Tour Championship presented by Coca-Cola from East Lake Golf Club continuing. We're at the 11th hole. It is the only hole on the golf course under 200 yards. It's a 197-yard par 3. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That will be a great look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Oh, man, just slides by, and only a tap in left. Good putt. So they'll tap in. Gives back a shot, and now drops into third place after the bogey. So that concludes round one. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the final leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the PGA Tour season finale.
Up for the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Settles in over the putt. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. This to surrender. Only one shot. Yeah, that really hurts, Frank. Missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
So just a formality here. Take no pleasure in saying it, but it's a fact. It's a double bogey. Straightaway par 4 here at East Lake in the Tour Championship, the 14th, 442 yards. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, looking at a downhill approach shot here at the par 4 14th. How important is club selection?
It's vital here, Rich. You've got to adjust for that downhill. Plus, the pitch of the fairway, more than often, the ball is going to be slightly below your feet. So if anything, you want to err on the left side of the flag.
It has historically been one of the final events of the PGA Tour season. Prior to 2007, its field consisted exclusively of the top 30 money winners of the past PGA Tour season. Since 2007, it's been the final event of the 4-tournament FedEx Cup playoff, and eligibility is determined by FedEx Cup points amassed throughout the season instead. While originally followed by the PGA Tour Fall Series, a realignment of the Tour's season structure beginning in 2013 makes the Tour Championship the final event of the season.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
There are just 2 par 5s here at the Tour Championship presented by Coca-Cola. This is the second and last of the 5 pars. The 15th, it is only 525 yards. And if you walk away with par here, you will likely have dropped the shot to the field. This is a chance to make birdie or eagle. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. I tell you, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. And it makes the green in regulation. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Hold on, maybe there is a chance for the win. That eagle moving the player into the top 10.
Just when we're focused at the top of the leaderboard, there's a lot of movement there in the middle of the field.
And the Tour Championship winding its way to the finish. We're at the 16th hole now, demanding par 4, 481 yards.
I'm loving that balance.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Well, this is the point in the round where a player really wants to be focused, dialed in. Second shot here at the par 4 16th.
And coming off a downhill lie, so allow that ball to go a little bit further than normal and perhaps even take that extra kick.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. The drama's really building right now at the Tour Championship here at East Lake. FedEx Cup title is on the line. Just a couple of holes to play. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4 17th at 455 yards?
With all that's at stake, Rich, this is a perfect par 4. Water all the way down the left, so in other words, if you hit a quick hook, you realize what's going to happen there. 3 bunkers protect the other side. Really, you just have to muscle up and hit a really good tee shot that somehow finishes between the water and those bunkers. Second shot, it's not exactly easy too. You're only going to see the top half of that flag. Green raised a little in the front and well protected by that bunker short.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Very impressive and on the move right now. Now to the final hole here at East Lake Golf Club. And Frank, there aren't too many golf courses that finish with a par 3.
And that's why it's always under a debate whether you should finish on a par 3, especially one of this length. 2s are very, very hard to find on this green. And the reason why there's so many slopes and hollows here, the 2 bunkers, remember the great up and down from Jim Furyk from the right bunker, that's more than possible. But this is it. This is what it comes down to. Somehow make a 3.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Two rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, you know, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the final leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today it's live 3rd round coverage of the PGA Tour season finale. Welcome back to the final event of the FedEx Cup playoffs, the Tour Championship. Rich Lerner for EA Sports alongside my good friend Frank Nobilo. Happy to be here at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia. It was established back in 1913. It was the course that the young Bobby Jones grew up and learned the game on. Designed by Donald Ross. We're getting set for the tournament action here again today. Second shot here at the 4th. Bunkers guarding the front corners of the green.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Clean this up with a tap.
And with that birdie, tied at the top.
You mentioned of the previous hole that 440 is no longer considered a long par 4. You have to push them past 500 for it to be considered long these days. So here we are, 520-yard par 4 at the Tour Championship here at East Lake. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. On the way. Do that. What a putt. Now the fifth hole here at the Tour Championship and a challenging par 4 here. It is 520 yards long and it rewards precision off the tee. There we go. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. On to the 7th hole here at East Lake in the Tour Championship. Good contact, good result. This has been a great performance so far, but Frank, a long ways to go. Do you ever worry about complacency?
Yeah, sometimes it just looks like it's too easy. At the moment, the putts are going in, the iron shots are going close enough, but some things, you know, they don't happen by accident. He's got to still keep concentrating right now.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Drops for a birdie. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the final leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the PGA Tour season finale. What a tremendous display of power and precision. Again, with only 2 par 5s on the golf course, this is a pretty big moment here. Scoring opportunity. This at the par 5 15. Let's see what they do. Just a sensational shot, and he will have that for an eagle.
Amazing. Just like that, pick up 2 on the field.
So just a formality. Seems to really have the touch today. Well, Frank, here at the 15th, this is the spot where a player has to make a move if he's trailing 525 yards. Last at par 5.
Yes, players like Henrik Stenson who have won here have actually hit 3-wood off this tee and just playing it slightly left of those 2 bunkers on the corner and then left with like a 2-iron or even a utility club to get it up quickly. Because that second shot is very, very severely uphill. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see. But it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that whole location. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tapping.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Final round of the Tour Championship, just a couple of holes to play. 455-yard par 4 17. Frank, it is a big moment, and it is a tough par 4.
And it's a big stage with all that water on the left, so you're well aware where you don't want to go. And if you don't notice those 3 bunkers on the right, you better have a look at your yardage book because they'll easily come into play if you just bail out to the right. This requires simply your best tee shot and an equally good second shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Made par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, here we are, the final hole of the final round of the final event of the FedEx Cup season.
Yeah, this is it. They give you a little bit of a reprieve. You wouldn't think you could do too much damage on this. But if you have to make 3 to win, and that's to win everything, there's much easier holes to play than this.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
It's at sneaky distance.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
No one likes these. Putt for double bogey.
Fortunately, all those shots in hand, double bogey should be erased.
Just a great putt and a great win.